Hello, everyone. Well, it seems like this time of year is about the same for everybody. A lot of people kind of take a break from the garden, whether they're on vacation or just not in the garden per se, like I have been. I'd say I've missed like in-depth gardening walkabouts for like 3 weeks at least. A lot of the stuff we're gonna be seeing for the first time in a long time. And even though it's about 5:30, the mosquitoes are already active, so I already got plunks on the forehead. But we're gonna try our best to get through as much of the tour as possible, starting here with some of the perennial trees. Well, I'm happy to report that the pomegranates did bounce back from the initial unwellness I was seeing in the spring and early summer. They're nice and green, but I do have to transplant these into containers because they need to be inside for my weather. They're not going to make it through otherwise. The white mulberry is growing. So good. So excited. It's a good thing it's been raining as well as it has. Otherwise, it would probably be dead with all the heat waves we were experiencing. Also, still alive are a couple of honeyberries. We're getting a little choked out by the weeds, so like you see, I just pulled these as I was walking through. And the quince is doing okay. We had some damage, some kind of something like one of those beetle things. They do this. I didn't see what it was actually, but we still have new growth. So this is promising that this plant will be with us for a long time to come. Also, here are some of the apples that I did trim not too long ago, and they're shooting up new greens. I haven't had any apples this year because of the late frost, but this Sylvester eye is the only one that's ever given me fruit, and it's also got new growth on it. So hopefully next fall, yeah, we'll get some fruit again. And I'm also happy to report that this dogwood bounced back also and looks nice. Although this one till seaberry not doing so well, unless it's like early or summer um, stress only. But you still need a companion for that one. This 9 bark I had trimmed at least the pathway anyway. So this space here, and it responded plus all the rain by growing about a third more of its height. So 9 bark is definitely a great screen. You need neighbor screening there. Over here, a hollyhock that's done, but the plant is healthy. These are those sunflowers that I threw seeds at 6 weeks ago, maybe. So they're growing. They're dense. I did thin a little bit, but like I could probably do that. So I'm just gonna let that go and do its thing. Hopefully feed and feed the birds and reseed. We shall see if, depending on what it does, then I wouldn't mind maybe just doing a whole. I've always tried to do this, is do a whole thing of sunflowers, but I was very um, stingy with the seeds, so half the time I lost the majority of it. But I would like this whole border that I'm making it into more floral, and I'd like it to be sunflowers. This triangle is holding weeds upon weeds. We have our toasty lamb's ear. There's autumn joy sedum, different kind of sedum next to it from the tree, not from the tree, from the woods behind my house. Um, this plant, I believe, is some kind of rudbeckia, but not the brown-eyed Susan. Different, but huge. So I got to remember to maybe top this at the end of June or something, and maybe I can just get a bush with lower petals. But It's beautiful. It just can't be this huge a focal point in this spot. Hollyhock's holding on here. One of the pretties. There's also a lilac bush. Another reason why this rudbeckia shouldn't be so big. There's a lilac bush here, and that needs the, that needs this space to grow and be healthy. I did do some spot fertilizing. This is not responding. This is a blueberry. It looks terrible. This might be a goner. We'll see how it does, through this winter. And I haven't given it any more sulfur. Maybe I'll throw some of that in. A little bit. Well, it's just strawberry bushes we're familiar with. Lavender, marshmallow plants. I'm not going to harvest this yet. I want it to keep growing. So in a couple of years. Oh, knock on wood, this milkweed plant continues on and doesn't get found and eaten, because the other plant that I bought did get found and eaten. And behind this is chia, and it's going slow. It's not in the best soil. That's either sumac or the tree of heaven. I'm not sure. I'll have to do an ID on that. Either way, it doesn't belong there. So the chia seems to be on the small side because of the bad ground it's in. But normally I don't have enough season for chia. It's like 150 days to maturity. And I do get it to flower, but I need the flowers to mature and give me seed, and I cannot get it to that. And then another blueberry bush here that's doing way better than that one at the other end. So maybe I should examine the soil. Maybe it's something in the soil that's actually hurting it. Over here, we had a huge mowing done. So hopefully the tulips that I planted here in the spring, late spring, will be fine. More lavender. These got roasted. These are hearts, bleeding hearts, I think. They were looking so good last tour, and now they're really looking fried. And I had to weed because it was getting ridiculous. More weeds hiding the lavender that's actually here. And then a jungle of weeds. This is supposed to be like calendula beds, but I have completely ignored my calendulas this year, and now I can't even find them except for that one lone flower there. Hello, baby. And then we have some hyssop and bergamot and a lemon balm. Can't get away from the lemon balm, but it's hard to decipher what's what with all the weeds in the way. I reminded myself to harvest some comfrey. There's that. And then on to the next weedy place, the cosmos, looking strong. But these other types of cosmos are finally coming in. I hope that's focusing. So they are very tall. They're at least 7 feet. And flowers are very nice. Very, very nice. So those seeded themselves. I did not have to seed cosmos this year. Somewhere in here is the brown cherry plant. Is the ripe one. Let's see. Perfect. So I really do not recommend brown cherries on the ground because it gets, unless you're meticulous, weeds easily. It's hard to find them. Other things will find them. Ants love them. Um, yeah, it's just harder. Whereas this, it's a behemoth of a plant here. It's in a grow bag. It's huge because I guess the soil is healthier. But I can easily harvest it. I can easily find the fruit. That's what I just said. And the fruit is so much bigger. Plus, since you don't want this seeding all over the place, again, it's easier to harvest, easier to keep track of. So the brown cherries are doing really well. The grow bags mainly hold blueberries, and then in there is a bed, a metal bed that we'll get into. I'm just gonna eat a couple more of these brown cherries. All right, unfortunately, we're gonna have to make this quick because this is prime territory for mosquitoes. So I haven't been in here in quite a while. I have no idea what's what or what's doing what. I see celery that I transplanted in doing well. Um, what is that? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't really remember what any of the greens are. Definitely cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Oh, I gotta, I gotta get that out of there. That's probably past this prime. Are these still red because they're in the dark? I thought these were Swiss chard. Are they deep? Why are they that color? I'm pretty sure these are Swiss chards, but they're super red. What else we got? No, there's parsley in here. I believe this is the parsley. And I think that's all that's surviving in here. Now, I didn't really put much soil in here, just like a couple inches. So this isn't really a true raised bed, I guess. But, it's supporting the plants that's in here. The main competition here are the trees that are behind me and the roots that, like to take over all the nutrients. All right, I need to move out of here and get to over there. So this container that I just set up a couple weeks ago, as you can see, there's plants growing in it. Those are sweet potatoes. I had a bunch of extra sweet potatoes. They were rooting, or I was trying to make slips, but I never got a chance or the space to put them in, so I just threw them away. I'm composting them basically. But lo and behold, they're giving me greens, edible greens. This is great. I just need to harvest this for the greens. Good decision on my part. The raspberries are regrowing for the fall cycle, so hopefully we might get another flush. I see some letting over there. Look how thick it is that I'm walking in. Luckily, snakes is not a problem here, or we'd have a different situation. We have some berries, not healthy. I think it's classed as fine. I think these were supposed to be blackberries. But those are not black. I'm not sure what's going on there. But turning around, the nasturtiums look beautiful. And here should be melons, the cantaloupe variety, which are tiny. So I did feed the soil, I believe, a week ago. But that plant is tiny, tiny leaves. I don't feel like it's taking advantage of the feed I've given it. It could just be too saturated, too dense of other things that are hogging up the feed, like this grass that I didn't do a good job eliminating, and so is now taking over the bed. I might have to redo this whole thing altogether. I was really hoping to see a melon already, because some other of my melons are already fruiting, but I see a bunch of flowers and not really any fruit to speak of. And there's lots of flowers, and I don't know if you just saw that bee fly through, so there should be some melons. All right, well, anyway, we have our fig flipping over, spilling over here, but no big fruit as usual. All right, let me meander over to that side. Our Jerusalem artichoke's growing well. Now this bed, I really have to get into. The beets I mentioned in the past are definitely ready to be harvested. Any more time spent there is just gonna make them useless. I have a couple of pumpkin plants here. I don't necessarily see any pumpkins, at least in the general vicinity. Let me take this cover off. I had hoped that the initial um, removal of the mesh was enough, but it wasn't. I was compressing the plant. Hopefully now it will get pollinated better and we'll get something. There's still time, plenty of flowers, male anyway. So we'll see. This tomato plant that I let volunteer here is giving no fruit, no flowers. What's up with that? That's it's definitely a candidate for something that needs to go, but I'm still curious. It just needs to be like thinned down because it's got a bunch of suckers on it right now. But yeah, that's the state of this mess. All right, we're in one of the pallet beds. The roselle's growing nicely. This acorn squash is coming along, and another squash of some kind. The loofah is lining up. I don't know if I'll have enough time for big, huge loofah, but if it would give me just edible loofah, that'd be great. Oh, yay, I forgot about that. Um, I think that's ready to be harvested. The yellow squash is the perfect size. Yeah, and there's two more behind it. Awesome. Now, for some reason, squash has never been one of those plants that I can grow prolifically and bother my neighbors with. So there's that. There's also sweet potatoes in here. I try to limit the number of leaves on the squash so that it's not shading out the bed too much. But yeah, these are sweet potatoes. Two, and then it's all the way back there. Hard to see. But I finally have cucumber plants and a baby cucumber. Finally, yay! It's been so hard this year to grow the cucumbers. There's another plant that refuses to climb the trellis, but it's here. So I'll get to training that more later. This plant, the fruits are getting thinner and thinner. This is the cherry sweetie. It's good. It's better now, I guess. I would say this is a needs to be vine ripened fruit. It's bland earlier on in its readiness. The containers now hold carrot seeds, and this is merely to protect from the maple flyers. So I don't see anything new popping up, but give it a few more days. And if they don't, that's too bad because I don't have any more seeds. There's still just the one loofah here. Um, the other ones did not get pollinated. It's probably too hot. There's a fruit coming in. These types of vines for me tend to wait till September, and then they're like, oh no, we're almost dying. Then they flush out. So we'll see. Um, in here, I planted also more carrots. I did not get a chance to cover it, so I got the maple whirlies. But so far, not that is not carrots. That's some kind of veg. There's a couple of leeks holding on. I rotated this bag because the pigeon peas were not getting any sun or weren't getting as much sun. So I'm hoping that will do something. But they haven't done anything in that grow bag. Nothing. And then we're still just status quo in this patch. Ginger nice and full. The zinnias nice and slow. Giving me flowers. Again, this land is not the healthiest. Tree roots under there taking up the nutrients. What's doing nicely in the pot is the cinnamon basil. I should definitely harvest some of that. And this container really filled in with the grapes. That's great. Strawberries. The snaps had flowered last week, but they're already done with that. These still, what are these? No, salvia, not salvia. Salvias tried to put on a show, and yeah, I can't really show off anything else. Maybe the bachelor button, as button as they can be. Very tiny. Are they supposed to be this tiny? This is just the pet soil. All right, in the center here, I did a little weeding. You can tell, right? So this container of ground cherry not doing as well as its counterparts. It's a very hungry plant, so I think it was starving. They were starving each other. There are three plants. There's now two plants, but I think there's a lot of that competition going on. Then this has a sugar baby watermelon. I don't see any melons yet, but I'm hopeful. Over here, it's just now a brown cherry because anything I put in with it was outcompeted. Mm, this is a good one. This is the Minnesota midget, and where did it go? Oh my goodness! We have fruit. We have two fruits. Hopefully more fruit. I don't know, but there's at least two. So that's very exciting. I did make an effort to, because the fruit was like all in the grass, so I did curl the plants so that it was in the container so that I could keep an eye on it. Like here is the end of one of the stalks um, hanging onto this asparagus. So this is not in there. So if I let it keep going, it's gonna get mowed over. And it looks like there's at least a fruit there trying to come up. So yeah, I did. I promised I did do a bit of weeding here. I just love this area so much. I didn't do much with it except plant the hydrangeas. Um, I just want to highlight um, the white one. What's it called? How bushy this one is. I have the tags, but they're buried under there somewhere. Oh, I found it. Not too far. So this one in particular is. No, no, I can't get it because it's around itself. City Line Venice. So it's needing, acidity. So it's giving us multicolors here. That, I don't know. This, what I like about this, it was the first one to come up and, it was pink. But now that it's getting old, it's turning this like darker. I don't even know what color that is. It's so beautiful. It's such a nice contrast with its neighbors. And then all the black eyed Susans around it that were already here. Just gorgeous. So this one is called Bloomstruck. See how much more like lavender with white it's supposed to look? This little bed, we have a ghost pepper that's really like coming in now. It really struggled in the beginning, but look at all the flowers it has now. Look how green. So nice. The holy basil has been gorgeous since all that rain. My little flowers from my child. You probably won't see anything from them from next year. You can see a little bit of onion down there. But they're alive. They managed to plant the transplant shock. So I reported last time that I had lost a couple of plants in here. I'm still in, I went back to the, where am I? Asparagus semicircle. And lo and behold, the Joe Pie weed is alive and well and flowering. So that is very, very nice to see. And that should go through the winter and come back for us nice and strong. So I lost the liatris and the milkweed. Big bummer. There's supposed to be peonies in there, but I won't see them until late fall when the weeds die down, if they survive. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they're fine. Over here are some grow bags. I did do some planting, sowing. This one has leeks, and this one has, oh crap, what is this one? Rutabaga? Rutabaga, right. And I dug some of that soil and put it in here. Those are still, they will probably continue to be empty. Although I do need to get some spinach in. Spinach, at least. I would at least try to do that. I never did harvest this gigunda kohlrabi. Definitely not for human consumption. The birds should enjoy it. The potato, this bag of potato, or one of the varieties, is still plenty healthy. but the other variety not so much. And then that bag I think has the same variety, so that bag is also done, so we can harvest that. Ah, bugs in my eye. I transplanted out the sowings for fall. I had a lot of death because I was away and they started frying up. So I only have a couple, let's see, Swiss chard, some brassicas. That's like cabbage, I'm sure, but it's getting ravaged already. Yay. There's a fennel and hopefully some dill. I don't know. The more recent, well, not more recent, but also recent transplants of basil, beautiful. I snipped them and now they're bushing out. They look so healthy. So happy with that. And then this is supposed to be crimson sweet melon is still in its infancy. We'll see if that gives us anything. But these potatoes are done. It needs to be pulled up. Hannah there. Another branch cherry. Lots to pick from here. This is mostly peppers, except for this volunteer tomato, which is delicious. Whatever this is, it's it's the hybrid of whatever plants were here before it. It's a volunteer, so I don't know what variety, but it's great. I'm happy for that to keep coming back year after year. Um, yeah, most of the peppers are ready to be harvested. I just haven't had time. And then I hate like harvesting just like two and then leaving these ones behind. So sometimes I wait and wait and wait, and then these go bad. And then, you still have these, but that's a me problem. But yeah, we have nice peppers in there. I definitely need to get in here. Oh, I see action on the cauliflower. Look at that. Wowie. Oh, nice. But I don't know if that'll be successful because I haven't been paying attention to it. But so we have started some flower, what do you call it? Not floret. The bulbing. Oh, well, we'll see, we'll see. I think it's still too early. I think it's still too hot though. I don't think the timing is quite right yet. Marigold, very healthy in the bucket. This one has Maxabel haricot beans that I have had some harvest from, and I don't know if it's gonna give me a couple more flushes there. I hope so. The corn, another thing that needs to be harvested. It might be past its prime. I'll look and see if maybe I should just leave it there to be seed. Do you pick them for seed, or do you just let them stay on the plant and then pick them later? I know I can leave them on there. That's definitely a thing. I also haven't been in that Nebraska area, so that's another area that needs to be paid attention to. I have to go over here and see possibly harvestable eggplant in the future. Oops, let me go in. I got this giant tripod on me. Yay, that was nice. That's still got a couple of days, I think. I don't know where the tag went. This is the aswad. It's definitely heavy, but the roots are still tiny, and it's supposed to be a very big plant. And I guess that would also be if I fed it better. And then one of the fingerlings, very tiny, very, very tiny. And this is another fingerling type, and I don't know, did I harvest the fruit from here? I don't think I've harvested anything from here. This one has not yet given anything. Okay, here's a tag. So the one that hasn't given me anything is the PT, and then the other one, or ping pong, sorry. And then the other one, can't remember what the other one is. And then if that one's Aswad, then this is Black Beauty here, the first one I showed you. The okra coming up, and this will continue for a bit, and it's starting to give us fruit. Woohoo! I love okra. I did not get enough plants in this season, so we will not have a nice harvest of okra behind us. Or what? Ah, I gotta get moving. More peppers. Yeah, another batch that needs to be harvested soon, or the bugs will get to it. I'm very excited about the bell. I finally have a decent sized bell pepper. Like, yes, finally. Like usually I get lucky if I get them, ping pong size. Another one, oh, the tag is gone. So here's another, hopefully, Ancho Poblano maybe. Oh, this one's got sun, sun damage. But there's not really that many leaves to cover it up. So some of these plants need more shade in order to save their leaves. Whereas this is probably a Thai chili. No, this is a Thai chili. Where are the leaves though? What the heck is going on? This is, what is this one? What am I calling this? Ah, the habanero. Look how leafy it is, protecting itself. But so many fruits coming on. Also some leaf curl. That's interesting. But lots of nice habanero fruits down there. It's a good year for peppers, I'd say. Now, the most disappointing is definitely the tomatoes. And more so because now the mosquitoes are attacking. The San Marzano gave me, a few pounds, but it's on its way out. Oh, there is a plant here that's holding on. I think this is the Hind something. It's a hybrid. Um, I believe this is the Calvez, which has been really wonderful for me. I'm so happy that Robin gave me some food. The Santiam Sunrise, cherry tomatoes, delicious. I'm not complaining about these. As you can see, cherry sweet is not my favorite, and I have not made much effort to pick them. So this might be another Calvez that was planted a lot later. Um, the superhero of this year for tomatoes is definitely this one, which is pineapple. What? That's a surprise. That's usually the one I have issues with. All the others are looking non-existent, basically. They all fried and then they all got moist and damp and moldy and melted away. This one holding on is the Arkansas Traveler. Okay, Arkansas Traveler making the list of definitely keep planting. I did not see anything from Alice's Dream. Nothing from, what's the other A one? No, this is the Alice's Dream. Really? Huh. I don't know what this is, but it did very poorly. I think it's Alice's Dream. And then Black Crim, Brandywine, they all just disappeared. Although Brandywine, I think just got eaten out because, no, those are Cherokee Purple. Cherokee Purple gave grapefruit production, but is a fan favorite for the pest. Definitely the slug. What did I say, Brandywine, I think it just got out competed. I see one fruit here trying to make a go at it, but this is a broken stem, so that's not going to do much. But yeah, tomato season is pretty much a bust. Now let's look at one of the corn. I already peeked the other day. It's probably a bad idea, but here's probably pick this. I'm just worried about those staying worms that I have gone in the past. Hold on, let me hold you up. All right, let me attempt to show you one of these. Ambrosia, I believe, is the name of this corn. And it looks good. Fully pollinated. Sorry, the question. Fully pollinated. Ooh, that looks delicious. I understand. All right. That's beautiful. Sorry. That's beautiful. Oh, we got something got nibbled there, but that's all right. That's not bad at all. Let me take a chew on that. So the end without the bug. Let's see. Yeah, good. So sweet. Definitely, a week or two past its prime. A week, let's say. But perfectly edible, perfectly delicious. Highly recommend if you have the space. the corn is definitely a favorite, humans and dog and chickens alike. I'm back here to see if there's any beans. I have dragon tongue beans under the tomatoes, and I did a big harvest the other day, so not seeing any new ones. So for myself, I don't recommend this situation because they have become overgrown and I can't get to them very easily. Oh yeah, so no more beans, looks like. So I have skipped a bunch of mini spaces. We don't have time for that. The ever-bearing strawberry keeps pumping. Now we're still good. Sometimes I miss it and it's been fermented. I just love the flowers on these savory. It's so delicate and cute. The, the beetle is done, so we don't have them to worry about anymore. We can eat. So heart's content. A few things left over. Another brown cherry. Oh, I already ate these. So save it for tomorrow. Okay. So here next to the green stalk, I have the kangkong seedlings. They came up within the week. It looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successful. It should have been more, but that's how it goes. So this was a weedy mess of a bucket with a lot of this, not purslane, but the whole thing that resembles purslane. So I don't know why I have so much of those this year. But yeah, so we have these 5 seedlings, and I guess by the next tour, we'll see how well they've done or not well. Let's get to the end here. So just now I took out these, what are supposed to be cauliflower, but never headed, and the growth just started to curl and become, well, the plant looks bad to begin with, disease-wise, but the leaves are just all wonky. Not a good time, so I took them out. That will leave room for the next, possibly level, next iteration of the Brussels sprouts. We'll see how that goes. The leeks here, much better. Well, let's see, what's the other one? There's 3. They're doing okay. Not any master class or anything. And also, when you see them, little carrots, just a few. But, that's it. And what do we got over here? Not much on the beets. Like 2, 3. That's not good. Not good at all. I should probably seed more. Yeah, do that. And almost at the end, we got the rise. We got rise. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we've been seeing, trying to see if I see any grasshoppers. Grasshoppers will eat our crop. So hopefully they will let me have some. So yay. Yay, yay, yay. Oh my god, my arm is killing me. So we have this last area to cover. What's left over here? Celery. There's supposed to be a plant. There it is. A curly leaf, parsley. Down there. And I see hollyhock. I see dill that is spreading its seeds. The yarrow is done. Browning. Oregano is still in bloom, feeding the bees. Feverfew keeps going and going and going. That's the first batch, so those are dying. And then there's weed. I did make an effort to weed here, but then, I forgot about it, and now the weeds are back. Because there was nothing out there to take its place. And yeah, more of the yarrow, more of our thriving, one of our figs. and some more holy basil. But that's that. But no, wait, there's more. This container of flowers we seeded a month and a half ago. Some of them are up. The moonflower looks like it had a good start, but now is having a hard time. Gaviosa doing okay, and a few other things. Whatever this is, whatever these are, they have time. They might do something. So these volunteer cherry tomatoes, which are part sun gold, part maybe honey drop, finally giving fruit. It'll be a while before they are edible, but something to look forward to. And then finally, our still empty after the onion harvest green stalk. I'm waiting for these purple dwarfs to. Ooh, this might be ready. Now I guess they'll turn red when it's ready. Purple dwarf um, tomato, right, is coming along with our counterpart. There it is, another one. Only one. See, I haven't fed these guys though, so that could be part of it. And then I have lots of empty pockets to fill with the lettuce I keep promising. So these are very closely sown. So it would be best if they were thinned out and transplanted, and maybe one or two left in here. And that way they can grow to their full potential. All right, we made it through that in one piece. Only got one mosquito bite and another one deflected. Well, the mowing has restarted, so and just quick, thanks for joining me today on this mid-August garden tour of Joy of the Garden and Home. Hope to see you again in the next show. So don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe. Thanks again. Talk to you all again soon. So I was more.